Oh! I wish a motherfucker would. Truly. Peak. Oh, how's it going, man? How you doing? When it rains, it fucking pours. Shadow! Yo, buddy, how's it going? In 3. Read it and weep, motherfuckers. Why don't we all LARP a little in our... Don't we all LARP a little in our day-to-day? True or wordsy, Phantom? I have to LARP like I give a shit about investments. That I have to pretend to give a shit that this lady is getting her money in 48 hours instead of 24. That Susan is losing her home and her husband left her, when all I can think is, I can see why he left you. I get it. To deck someone, to sock someone, to punch someone, and to slug someone. To glaze, to polish, to clay, to... Kiln? I don't know what kiln means. Fuck. Game? That's what make feel alright. Clay glaze wheel kiln? Clay glaze wheel kiln? Damn harsh. Hey, good work. Sticks, truck, herb, game. Fuck! Sticks, truck, herb, Polish. Herb, nice, polish, reading. Words pronounced different ways as proper nouns. Herb, herb, nice, niche, nice, I don't know, polish, Polish. Tip, edge, edge, no, possess, have, possess, possession, 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 item, own, tip, corner, own property, property, tip, property, land, tip, inventory. I mean, I'll add it, but I'm thinking like dividing line of like a property is what I'm thinking is gonna, what might be a way to bridge that. Today might be a shorter stream. I'm feeling a little sleepy. I have to go to the gym after this, so yeah, tough it out, but you know, feeling a bit eepy. Border edge tip. Oh, this is close. Edge to tip. Edging. I'm sorry. Oven? No, I don't think that would work, Kami. Is your oven still doing the thing where it keeps going on like max temp or whatever? Is that it? Edge tip. Edge. Knife? Whoa. Hold on. What's up, Chris? How's it going, man? By the way, just a heads up, maybe shorter stream today because I'm feeling a bit eepy. Made a cake once and it never recovered. Oof. That do be how it goes, you know. Point. Oh my god, that might work. No, pointer. Point. Banana pudding, nice. Point. How does point and edge not fucking work? End? Écoute mon cœur. Weapon. Weapon hurt. Hurt tip stab. Blade. Slice. Cut. Dice. Fucking look at this! What am I doing to myself? Katana. Graph. Math. Give me a fucking clue, man. Money? How does that help me, idiot? Tip. Tip advice. Advice. Help. Help. Lend. Lend. Oh, I was thinking help money, lend. Advice. Math. Teacher. School. Advisor. We did it, Harsh. It's over. The nightmare's over. We did it. Fucking cringe shit, though. Oh my god, you're washed, Harsh. It's so over for you, buddy. Genuinely, just end it all. Who's washed? You're washed, Harsh. I just did that shit. Off the cuff. Bug, yo, how's it going, man? How you doing? 0 50-50s? Bro, you hit a perfect 50-50. I'll take 51s any day of the week. You kidding? I'm not too prideful for that. You nuts? here, but that doesn't work. Oh, idiot. What was that game called? Cuddle. C-U-T-L-E. Seriously, give it a try. It's fun. It's like, it's really simple. It doesn't take like, oh my god, like, it doesn't take you a bunch of time, but it's like a fun little, like, hey, how would I do this? I find it fun. Maybe let me know if you guys try it. Here, 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 here. Here, here. I got that daily puzzle in like 20 seconds with no mistakes. Who says I'm not getting better? I do. I'm getting worse, significantly. Can't take here? Here. Sorry, give me one sec. My brother just messaged. Oh good, oh good. Sorry, give me one second. I just have to give my brother a key real quick. I was cheated. Yeah. Cheated. You know what? No, you know what? Chris, I'll give it to you. You're the one guy I'll give you some grace. Anyone else says that, you can fucking kick rocks, okay? You washed. But Chris, he's nice, so he gets a bit of grace. DJ, how's it going, man? Here? That'll work. Here, here, here. Who's breathing loud? Not me? Couldn't possibly be me? Here, here, here. Or inside. Couldn't be me. Fuck. I think what Kami meant to say was his mother was breathing loud because of me. But I can see how he'd get those two confused. It's okay. Okay, let's survive. Like a spirit. Alright, how's it going, man? Fuck! Sorry, that was bad timing. Bad timing. Bro, I'm beating this guy's ass. What are you talking about? On that note, though, if I lose now, this would be cooked. Hold on. This guy might be beating my ass now. What do I do here? Hold on. Hold on, he's beating my... No, hold on! I'm paralyzed. Okay, now I got a couple of freebies again. It's just supposed to go here. Fuck, I might be washed. Fuck. Unless he gets 3 wrongs now. Hold on, let me cook. Hold on, he's stressing though. Hold on. There's a chance. Unless he's baiting. There's a chance! Fuck! That was bad. That was bad, boys. That was bad. 503. Let's try and get to like 510, let's call it. Oh yeah, let's try. Everyone's gonna probably get messengers. Yay. Bro, can you imagine? Everyone gets messengers except one person? Oh, embarrassing. Couldn't be me. Franca attempted summoning to 5 Spirit World creatures. Despite her successful summonings, none of the Spirit World creatures were willing to sign a contract with her. They said, bro, you're a demoness. We may be Spirit World creatures, but we don't submit to whores. Yeah, I said it. Sue me. The repeated failures struck her hard, and her disappointment and frustration were evident. Nevertheless, she didn't let her emotions dictate her actions. Undeterred, she proceeded to summon 24 other creatures. The situation became increasingly clear. Success, if achievable, would happen in the first few. Jenna glanced at the disappointed Franca. Give it a try when your sequence is higher. When I reach a higher sequence, I can use mirror and the mirror world to send magic. Why the fuck would I need a messenger? I've seen something similar in the information about spirit world creatures. Would you like to give it a try? Despite her reluctance to admit defeat, Franca remained pragmatic. Forget it. Spirit world creatures are dangerous. All they can think about is dragging a demoness to the spirit world. Even delivering a letter will help me turn my friend into an enemy. Sensing that she had calmed down, Anthony, a fellow novice, made his attempts. Like Franca, he too faced challenges. 5 attempts were made, with 2 summoning failures and 3 unsuccessful contracts. Looks like I can't have one for the time being either, Anthony sighed. Franca's emotions eased significantly. Which one do you want to summon? Lumion asked. The coolest one. Which one do you want to ask? She asked Lumion curiously. The coolest one, Lumion said, as he sanctified a silver dagger. Focusing on the candle, he said, I summon in my name a spirit world creature wandering about the unfounded, the penitent who awakens from the flames of pain, a friendly person corrupted by the darkness. This summoning incantation, unique information, was from Madam Magician. Deviated from the norm. It wasn't just a spirit, but a creature wandering above the world. The latter's description combined encounters and characteristics. Lumion found the temperament and style of this particular creature impressive and decided to make it his first attempt. He sought a messenger capable of delivering a letter, traversing the spirit world, indifferent to other considerations. Why not be the coolest one? As soon as the incantation echoed, the flame expanded. With each flicker of material, a figure materialized, a tall, human-like, dressed in a deep black robe, reminiscent of the EBS church clergyman. But his exposed face and limbs bore the marks of prolonged incineration, leaving only bones and charred flesh, eye sockets glowing with flames. Are you willing to be my messenger? Lumion asked the penitent one. That is a hard name, though, the penitent. Responding in ancient Faesac, the source of several northern continent languages, the penitent offered a condition. If you are not concerned about being implicated by me and slowly slipping into the darkness, I can help deliver your letters. No compensation, but there's danger? Since Madam Magician provided the information, it means I can bear it, Lumion thought. That depends on whether you and the darkness can win the tug of war. No problem. I was prepared with this. Bro, he doesn't even have to fucking pay? The penitent one was like, dude, imagine, like, this is unironically what this, if Lumion wasn't Lumion, this is unironically what this fucking transaction looks like. Hey, can you make me a burger? I can. However, are you willing to bear the cost of your soul suffering eternal damnation at the price of this burger you wish to enjoy? Bro, I'm asking you to be a fucking mailman. The fuck you mean you're taking my soul for this? What? Just ask for like a gold coin or some shit. What the fuck is this? This time he switched to Ancient Faesac to communicate with the other party. After all, it was quite troublesome to use Ancient Hermes. Soon he drafted the contract, penned the mysticism description representing the underworld's representative as a witness. Illuminated by the Hermes words, engulfed in a ghastly flame, Lumion fixed the incantation to a creature wandering above the world, the penitent who awakens from the flames of pain, a messenger belonging solely to Lumion Lee. Lumion didn't adopt a codename like Jenna and the Knight of Swords. After all, those who knew about his messenger might not know that he was a minor arcana card holder, a self-cultivation of a veteran spy. With his name penned down, Lumion witnessed the goatskin fly towards the penitent one. The penitent signed his name, Banefell. Damn, that's a cool... Damn, he's got a cool name and a cool title. Curious, Lumion asked, what are you penitent about? Banefell remained silent. Despite Lumion's persistent questioning, Banefell kept a silence. Very good. All hairdressers should learn from you, Lumion said, before concluding. After he dismantled the wall of spirituality, Franca asked at him, you succeeded on the first try? I did, Lumion said, lacking any evident joy. Why? Why can't me and Anthony do it? Why? It had to be said that the demoness was quite charming. Seeing Franca like this, Lumion wanted to raise his right hand and flick her forehead. It made him want to bully her. He pondered and said, I understand. Being a minor arcana card holder increases our chances of successfully summoning. Even a psychiatrist like Anthony succeeded several times. But to gain their favor or obedience, you need a higher level, a special pathway, or something related to Mr. Fool. For example, Jenna's gold coin and Mr. Fool's power on me. If that's the reason, does the Knight of Sword also have something? Lumion thought. I see, Jenna said. It wasn't her that was the problem, she simply lacked a prop. She then looked at Jenna, contemplating whether to borrow the lucky coin. But Franca dismissed the idea. There was a significant mysticism difference between ownership and loaning. Franca exhaled and was about to inquire when Lumion planned to leave Trier and How. What's the matter? Franca asked. Nothing, Lumion shook his head, remembering that Aurora had once yearned for a messenger. Damn. Anthony glanced at Lumion, but no words were exchanged. Jenna brought up the purifier Deacon Ongome's proposal to purchase the Pride armor. Lumion fell into a silence and chuckled. I'll decide after some time. Despite recognizing the dangers of the Pride armor, Lumion acknowledged it for its power. It could pose a threat to all Beyonders below that of a demigod. If wearing it was the key to defeating Loki and the others, Lumion wouldn't hesitate to use it. Alright, Franca inquired. Are you leaving tomorrow? Are you taking a boat? A train? Are you teleporting? All of them are possible, Lumion chuckled. I'll decide tomorrow. Let's see what fate has in mind. When did you become all mysterious? Franca muttered. After bidding farewell to his companions, Lumion adorned the silver earring lie and subtly altered his appearance, making his way to Avenue de Marche, arriving at the motel bar. Seemingly unaffected by the previous night's catastrophe, the bar retained its lively atmosphere. Charlie, now in a black coat, enthusiastically exclaimed, You may not know about this, but Ciel and Dubois and I are friends. We've been through life and death together. Look, his bounty has been updated to 60,000. What a sum. Damn. Do you think this is how Kobe used to talk about Luffy being like, you guys don't know, and he's a pirate as shit. But this guy's my fucking goat. You see his bounty? 1 billion berries. This guy's doing shit. You're quite proud of me, Lumion scoffed. In the midst of the commotion, he silently listened, savoring the alcohol. Pavard Neeson, the proprietor, wiping glasses, noticed a new face and smiled. Have you just arrived? Yes, Lumion responded in a deep voice. You seem to have a story. Lumion sighed, taking a sip of his drink, and said, I'm a nobody. In an instant, I found myself with no alternative but to depart. Staying was not an option. Besides, lingering might jeopardize my friends, Lumion said. Pavard Neeson placed his glass on the counter and sighed. That's unfortunate. Alright, I've wrapped up my tale. How about a drink on the house? Lumion said. Pavard was taken aback for a moment. Minutes before the stroke of midnight, Charlie exited the basement bar. Under the guise of the autumn night, a smooth breeze playing. It seemed to cleanse both body and mind, as Charlie couldn't help but take in a deep breath. Dog shit, who the fuck peed all over the place? At that moment, a silhouette emerged, a figure boasting golden black hair, piercing blue eyes. Ciel Dubois. He hasn't left Trier? Charlie's heart surged with joy, but almost instantly, he caught sight of the dark expression on Ciel's face. Charlie jumped. I was gonna let you know. Before he could finish, Lumion materialized, his right fist meeting Charlie's face. The force sent specks dancing in Charlie's vision. Considering our friendship, I won't kill you, Lumion spoke. With that, he pivoted in his dark jacket and strode away. I was gonna tell you, I couldn't find you. And Lumion offered no response, simply disappearing. Rooted to the spot, Charlie couldn't suppress his curses. Why did he become so unreasonable? It's not my fault. I did my best to help you. I'm just a clerk. Aw. They're good friends. The next morning, Charlie had just settled into his subterranean office at St. Robert's, armed with a meatloaf. Before he could even start brewing a cup of coffee, he spotted Angolme. "Morning, Deacon," Charlie exclaimed. "What happened? You get into a scuffle?" Angolme glanced at the bruise on his cheek. "Oh no, not at all. I just collided with a statue." It might sound unbelievable, but those lunatics get wild when they're drunk. Some rant on about toppling the government, and others believe their vomit is gourmet cuisine, and a few decide to relocate hefty statues to random corners. I just bumped into one. Your lies lack finesse. Do you recall the clause in the contract about not concealing information? It's CL. CL attacked me. Perhaps he was resentful because I didn't notify him about making him wanted. Very well. That's more like a competent purifier clerk should be. Where did you find him? Right outside the motel, just past the first alley. Given that CL's true circumstance surpassed our expectations, we've scrutinized all the files associated with him. It has come to light that you share a close bond with him, and that he was implicated in the Susanna Matisse case. Upon including him for that matter, it became apparent that you concealed many things. Did CL force you? No. He simply requested it. As expected, Angolme nodded and probed into every nuance of the Susanna Matisse incident. With his defenses stripped away, Charlie lay bare every detail. Angolme spoke at the end. For someone in your position, concealing vital case details would lead to an immediate dismissal, if not even imprisonment. However, your performance recently has been commendable. You've shown diligence, dedication, and commitment to your studies, and it appears you haven't leaked information to CL. As the Deacon of the Inquisition, I am inclined not to cast aside someone who has earnestly climbed out of the abyss. Given your record, after becoming a purifier clerk, I am offering you another chance. I just can't push you out and wait for CL to kill you. You'll be terminated, but you can intern here. Your salary will revert to an intern for 6 months. If you excel and avoid errors, you may be rehired. In simpler terms, your punishment is a 6-month probation. Upon hearing this, Charlie felt a surge of relief, as if he had been plummeted into hell, only to be yanked back to heaven. He slumped in his chair, drained of strength, and as Angolme departed, Charlie's mind reeled. After a few seconds, he raised his right hand and delivered a slap. To think, last night I boasted CL about me being friends who had faced life and death together. Shortly after returning to his office, Angolme received a telegram originating from St. Vief Castle. The cathedral summoned Angolme for a discussion. The cardinal summoned Angolme to the cathedral for a discussion. Ascending a dazzling staircase to the area near the dome, a small room awaited. Clad in a white robe adorned with golden threads, Cardinal Plessis spent his days here. Plessis? Trissy? Coincidence? I think not. An elderly man with high cheekbones and grizzled blonde hair emerged. While you have faced challenges during the recent catastrophe due to unforeseen events, your ability to grasp crucial information and manage subsequent arrangements is incredible. We haven't overlooked your performance in the past year. Praise the sun, Angolme said. In light of the recent circumstances and for the foreseeable future, we intend to establish 3 purifier teams directly under the Trier Diocese. You've been swamped with work over the last months. Previously, you voiced concerns about lacking leisure time. Do not blame yourself. It is a common experience. As a deacon of the Trier Diocese, you will find more time. Your role will involve addressing cases beyond the capacity or time frame of the purifiers. Of course, this also entails risks. Francois, Sequence 4 marks a qualitative change. Many within the Inquisition seek to become a saint. If you wish to surpass them, you must make remarkable contributions. The first step is to become a deacon of a small team. The second involves amassing contributions and wielding a holy artifact. And the third, waiting for the opportune moment. Do you aspire to be a deacon? I can respect your desires. Your Eminence, Thy will be done. As a deacon, you will be tasked with selecting team members. Yes, Your Eminence. Upon returning to the underground confines of St. Robert, he summoned the mixed-blood Immer to his office. Are you willing to follow me? Ongolme said. Does that mean I can advance my sequence and earn a higher salary? I have no issues with that, Immer said. Who should we choose next? Ongolme asked. Or Immer asked. Don't consider individuals like Valentine, those with a wife and children. Approach those who are single. A team under direct command is both an honor and a risk. Which purifiers with a happy family wouldn't want to witness their child grow and spend more time with their spouse? Let the singles among us bear this burden. Damn. And to think Kami hated Ongolme. I actually like the guy. Having apprehended everyone deserving of it in the market district and putting those who haven't been arrested on the wanted list, Ongolme found a rare moment of leisure. He swiftly concluded his work and returned to his rented apartment. Falling asleep quickly, Ongolme slept until the early hours of the morning, awakened by the growling of his stomach, nibbling on a piece of white bread. Observing the unwashed cutlery on the coffee table, he contentedly seated himself in front of the miniaturized analyzer. During this time, the telegram group was not active. After sending a telegram to announce his presence, Ongolme pulled over a pillow, placing it over him as he leaned against a wall. Soon, the analyzer spat out a telegram. 007, you're here. I have something to tell you. The Hidden Blade said. I've received news that the mirror people we mentioned have been infiltrating Trier over the past decade, replacing originals. Countless Trier citizens have already been replaced, and no one knows their goals, but it cannot be good. I'm investigating them, and I'll give you clues at any moment. Keep an eye out. Fucking Christ. The following morning, Lumion sat in a four-wheeled rental carriage, Ludwig sitting opposite him. Opposite him sat Lugano Toscano. Glancing at the window, Lumion noticed a little deviation from the usual scene. Street vendors, public carriages, and rental carriages bustled about, the Suhit locomotive station welcoming numerous foreigners. While seemingly unchanged, subtle changes had emerged. Christo had fled, and Giant Simon was apprehended. The Baron was nowhere to be found. The Savoy mob, once dominant, now faced total annihilation. Should we travel by boat, or perhaps get false identities to take the steam locomotive? It is in the hands of fate, Lumion said. Producing 3 post-it notes, he scribbled various options and said boat, train, and direct travel. Crumpling these balls, he shuffled them and presented them. Your turn. Let's see what fate has in store. Lumion extended his hands to Lugano. This is too arbitrary, Lugano thought. In any case, he had already received 5,000 Vril d'Or. Lugano unfolded a paper and read, Ship. Very good. Let's take the steam locomotive. The fuck? Shall we head back to the steam locomotive station? Lugano suggested. No. To the northern train station. North? Trier had 2 main stations, Suhit and the northern train station. If their destination was Fainapotter in the Restone province, the logical choice would be Suhit. Why then were they going north? Recognizing it wasn't his place to question his employer, Lugano instructed the carriage driver to alter their course. As noon approached, the carriage arrived at the northern Trier station. I have to disguise myself and find a broker for a fake identity. As Lugano directed the carriage driver to a remote area, he turned to face Lumion and was met with an unfamiliar face. If not for the silver earrings in his right ear and the familiar clothes, Lugano would have believed they were ambushed. Purchase a ticket to Port Gatti in Upper Coastal Province, Lumion instructed. Upper Coastal Province? While his employer did intend to take a boat to Fainapotter, he chose a less obvious route. Instead of departing from the nearest port, Le Sur, he opted for the Upper Coastal Province. In the business carriage of the locomotive station, divided into 6 cozy rooms, Lumion's gaze fell across the slightly open wooden door. The table adorned with a vibrant, multicolored tablecloth interwoven with gold threads. A private room like this commanded a hefty price of 400 Vraldor. The steam locomotive promised a 12-hour journey with an 8-hour night stop, totaling 20 hours. Travel costs were 30 Vraldor for a third-class seat, 45 for a second, 60 for first. And the exclusive small private rooms in business class demanded 100 Vraldor a person. Vanitas, thanks. Sounds good. Thank you. Man, I can't wait for Hope to finish that website he's making. That's gonna be so peak once it's done. Holy shit. For a wanted fugitive like Lumion, the setup was perfect. Equipped with lie and knee space, Lumion had no real need for privacy or luxury, but there was a compelling reason. The carriage provided 2 complimentary meals, a convenience that would spare Lumion from hassles. A child has to eat something, he thought. I just hope he doesn't eat the fucking attendants. After catering to Ludwig over the past 2 days, Lumion recognized the importance of his traveler bag, capable of storing ample rations for the boy. Amidst the whistle, Lumion settled into his seat, observing the rhythmic clanging as the scenery rapidly retreated. In less than 15 minutes, the colossal, steam-spewing train departed from the bustling metropolis. It left behind a metropolis pulsating with desires. Wait, I'm just realizing, so the highest that Ludwig can theoretically be, if he's of the monster pathway, would be 2, right? Because Ouroboros has 2 sequence 1s, and Will has the third, and the uniqueness. So if he's of that pathway, he's sequence 2. But he's in essence quite similar. He seems like he's like a fate pathway, because he talks the same way that like Will does. Or maybe it's just the kid that reminds me of the Will. I don't know. Is it possible could he be like an evil god's pathway? Could he be like, I don't know, one of the non-conventional pathways? Amidst the whistle, Lumion settled into his seat, absorbing the rhythmic clanging sounds as the scenery rapidly retreated. In less than 15 minutes, the colossal steam spewing train departed from the bustling metropolis, leaving behind a metropolis pulsating with desires. Lumion half closed his eyes and sighed. Goodbye, Trier. At 8 p.m., under the cover of darkness, the locomotive station came to a scheduled halt, Dardel Station. Situated outside in the upper coastal province, Faust region, the platform was already bustling with 20 or 30 men from different carriages. A middle-aged man knocked on the door to Lumion's private room. "What can I do for you?" Lumion pushed open the door. "Bonsoir, would you like a drink? Perhaps a cozy bed instead of a sofa?" "A bar with its own motel?" Lumion was enlightened. Yes. Our bar boasts some charming little frogs." The man winked. "Little frogs?" "That's our slang here. It means the same as your prostitutes in Trier." "Oh, is that so?" Lumion suspected. Anything good to eat?" Ludwig chimed in. "I thought you were going to ask if the meat was tender or chewy, and if it tasted good," Lumion teased. "Sick," Ludwig said. Observing this, the middle-aged man swiftly introduced the local specialties. Meanwhile, do you think the train guy is just a total pervert? Because who the fuck is talking about prostitutes in front of a child? Ludwig is sitting right there, and he's like, "So, would you like some prostitutes brought to your room?" Like, the fuck? Meanwhile, outside the station, dogs started barking, a lone bark triggering a chorus of canine voices, shattering the night silence. The man's... Hold on. The man's expression shifted, tainted with an indescribable sense of fear. Dogs. Why is that scary? Doggo? We like doggos. I like doggos. I like cats too. Amidst the nighttime of cacophony of the town barking, Lumion chuckled. You have that many dogs in Dardel? Yes, the man said. Something is off. Has something happened to this town? Amidst the persisting dog chorus, he concentrated on gauging the other party's luck. He had no plans to leave the steam locomotive and venture into Dardel. His only recourse was to probe into the luck of the town's residents. While Termiboros could influence his luck observation, there was a chance of being misled. Lumion, lacking expertise, had limited options for gathering info. Factoring in various environmental details, he discerned a potential problem. In Lumion's view, the man's luck seemed to take on a ghastly green hue, indicating an impending illness. A rather peculiar one. The specifics, such as when or what kind of illness, eluded Lumion. The bark inducing fear. Do Dardel's wild dogs cause calamities by biting and spreading disease? That's an explanation. It's not a Beyonder incident, but that does mean there's a potential solution. Can you bring the food we ordered? Lumion turned to the man. We can do so if the meal costs 2 Vril d'Or. As you know, it's not easy for us to enter the platform, the man said. At that moment, the clamor of the dogs subsided. No problem. Lumion casually ordered a variety of dishes. Apple liqueur, deep-fried potato pancakes, and a whole bunch of other shit, totaling to 10 Vril d'Or. Ludwig couldn't help but gulp with the mention of each dish. 4 hours prior, an attendant had delivered a 4-person standard dinner. Despite managing to finish 2 portions alone, Ludwig remained unsatisfied, also retrieving multiple pieces of jerky from Lumion's bag. 2 hours ago, he had his first supper, consisting of cheese, dessert, bread, jerky, and more, and now he was hungry again. What a fat fuck, Jesus. Is the food provided in the carriage of this level not tasty? Lumion couldn't help but ask. Or the middle-aged man couldn't help but ask. Or why would Ludwig look as though he hadn't eaten? That's right, don't ever expect us to eat tasty food on a steam locomotive. After noting down the dish names and receiving 5 Vril d'Or as a down payment, the man moved to another room. Wait, Lumion called out. Is there something else, Monsieur? You don't look well. If you don't want to get sick, you should rest more in the coming days. The man froze. All right. Thank you. Dardel's abnormality is indeed linked to his illness, Lumion thought. Why can't I tell that he's a sub-healthy and could fall ill at any moment? Lugano said. Being a doctor, he possessed abilities as well. Sub-healthy was a term coined by Emperor Roselle, only gaining popularity in Intas's medical world recently. He's not currently in a sub-healthy state, but it's very likely he will enter one, Lumion thought. It's never wrong to care about others and encourage them to rest, he responded. I don't buy it. Then he masked it with a smile, Lugano said. He seemed to share that concern. That's right. Dardel's dogs subsided and resounded at the same time. Sometimes it was just outside the platform and at other times from the edge of town. Why do I keep encountering shit like this? Am I a calamity? From the looks of it, the problem in Dardel has been around for a while, nothing to do with me. No matter how I avoid it or make choices, I'll always be drawn to calamities. Is this why a hunter at an angelic level in the Blood Emperor's aura will inevitably encounter abnormal situations? In the future, will a novelist write about my experiences like Gehrman's? The line, he's always accompanied by calamity, would likely be included. As time ticked by, the middle-aged man returned carrying food containers. Is this what you want? He and the other waiters handed. Seeing the plates covered in exquisite tablecloth, Lumion took a sip of the slightly sour apple liqueur and paid the remaining 5 Vril d'Or for the meal. We'll collect the cutlery in an hour. We won't be disturbing you, will we? The middle-aged man asked. Lumion nodded, giving them his permission. Monsieur, how do you know I'm about to fall ill? The man said before departing. My friend is a renowned doctor in Trier, Lumion gestured to Lugano. What's your name? Lumion asked. Just call me Pierre, the man responded. Do you think you'll get sick too? No, just a little concern. Well then, get some rest, drink some water, and perhaps seek out the clergyman at a cathedral for repentance, Lumion said. Pierre moved to the front of the locomotive in silence. But his steps seemed burdened. Woof woof, the barking continued, and Pierre's face contorted, overwhelmed with fear and worry. Save me, doctor, save me! Unless you disclose the cause of the illness, we can't help you. Yes. Before he could finish, a figure materialized on the platform walls. The figure stood firmly, legs apart, body contorted, but its head tilted up. A man clad in tweed garments, conspicuously marked by tears and frays. Saliva dripping from his mouth as he attempted to speak. Woof woof. It's derangement. Derangement? Lumion shifted his attention from the man barking to Lugano. Lugano observed the abnormality for a moment before shaking his head. His message was clear. Not your typical case of rabies. Pierre, mistakenly thinking Lumion was addressing him, was on the brink of collapse. Yes, derangement. I don't know what had happened. Many people in our town are turning into barking lunatics. At first it was just one, then two, then three, then 10. So many people have gotten affected, losing their minds. They bark like dogs. They contracted from being bitten? No. At least the ones that I know weren't bitten, but they still went mad. I feel like I'm next. You didn't seek help from the government? Lumion asked. We heard about a village with a similar situation. They reported it to the government and the whole fucking village vanished. We didn't dare approach the government or the church. Dude, this is so One Piece though. Hey, so we had there's a new guy who's trying to usurp power, and can we just get your help, because he's like killing a lot of people. And he said, like, I can't remember, I didn't quite make it out, but I feel like he said, like, fuck the celestial dragons, fucking nuke the whole town, fuck them, the entire country, gone. Like, what? No, not what I wanted. Where are the people from the town's health department? Cathedral. They were the first to succumb to illness, Pierre said. The initial casualties were the padre, police, and health officers. So why haven't you tried to escape? Escape? Pierre and the bar waiter were startled, staring at Lumion. Beneath the crimson moonlight, the whites of their eyes took on a bloodshot hue. I mean, EBS did nuke all of Cordu. Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. I'm not saying that citizens are wrong for fearing it. I'm just saying, like, what kind of a shitty world do they live in where it's like that's the fear? Pierre and the others locked eyes with Lumion. None of you can leave, Pierre said. Once the outsiders catch wind of this, we're done. In response, Lugano rose to his feet, delivering a powerful blow with his right fist. With a resounding thud, Pierre slumped, unconscious. The bar waiter, seemingly unhinged, trampled over the fallen man, attempting to leap into the carriage. Lugano struck again, his punch rendering the waiter unconscious again. They didn't abnormally transform into monsters, Lumion thought. What do we do? Lugano asked. What do we do? After watching this, it left him with an inner sense of conflict. This derangement, causing people to lose their sanity and become canine-like, coupled with the consecutive onset of various illnesses, unmistakably hinted at supernatural forces at play. However, the mystery deepened as Pierre and the others, who were evidently concerned about keeping derangement a secret, freely disclosed the information to Lumion. This apparent contradiction could be attributed to Pierre's overwhelming mental stress, pushing to the brink. Lumion's mention of future sickness served as a tipping point. Yet the lingering question persisted. Why not escape? Faced with the infectious and unstoppable derangement, wouldn't normal humans simply flee? Even if they feared attracting attention, a temporary escape into nearby mountains after addressing those potentially afflicted could be a solution. Unless there was something preventing the citizens from escaping. The townsfolk were cognizant of similar derangement cases, resulting in the entire village being wiped out. After normal infection, key figures like the cathedral clergyman, the police, and the house department succumbed to madness. Why would this mastermind allow Pierre and the others to give away this information, though? Lumion began thinking, considering it illogical to choose a transportation hub regularly frequented as a choice to unleash a plague. Even without Lumion, those choosing to enter Dardel to sleep under a warm bed would invariably notice the abnormality. There are so many contradictions, inconsistencies. What else can we do? Of course, we have to find a way to inform the authorities. Don't tell me you want to investigate this ourselves. I don't expect you to be so noble, Lumion said to Lugano. How should we inform the authorities? He asked sincerely. The simplest solution is to get the train police up here and tell them what Pierre said. Have them use the train radio to contact the relevant departments. But as witnesses, we'll be invited to assist. Our identities are fake. It'll be easy to expose that we're beyonders. Then find an empty room on the platform, pile dozens of explosives, and detonate them. The explosions will send the roof flying, destroying the house. This way, the conductor and the train police will report it quickly, and the officials will take notice. When they arrive, they'll notice the hidden problem, won't they? When the authorities investigate, they'll discover that we interacted with the citizens. They'll worry that we may also be in danger. We wouldn't pass their scrutiny when the time came. Then investigate the source of the derangement yourself and blast it to pieces. Can we just leave, change our identities, and take another train to another port? Well, that's fucking simple. Why didn't I think of that? Just now, the more Lugano and I discussed, the deeper we delved into a dead end. We were entirely focused on finding a reason, an excuse for entering Dardel. A realization hit Lumion, and he gazed at Lugano's luck. The other party's luck would also be tainted with a ghastly green. You have the possibility of contracting derangement, Lumion said. Really? Think of it as a joke. Lumion turned his head and said to Ludwig, see, there are many benefits to studying. In the past, you wouldn't have thought of such a solution if you knew nothing but eating. Ignoring the hunter, Ludwig forked a piece of mutton into his mouth. No rush, just the risk of contracting the illness. You need to leave this place before you get infected. Where are you going? Lugano said as Lumion walked out of the private room. Inform the authorities of derangement. Lugano was at a loss. All he could do was watch in a daze. Reaching the train's washroom, Lumion locked the door and activated the black mark representing spirit world traversal. He vanished, reappearing in apartment 702 in Quartier de la Cathédrale Commémorative. Neither Franca nor Jenna was asleep quite yet. Why are you back? Franca jumped. She had the illusions that she had just dropped him off at school in the morning and found him at home. We encountered a Beyonder incident and wish to inform the authorities through your channels. You encountered another incident? What the fuck is your problem? I didn't want to, Lumion said. Where? What kind of incident? Moon, how's it going, man? Like the thumbnail? Thanks, buddy. Yes, what do you mean? Why are you saying queen with question mark, Kami? Medici's a girl, we know this. She just became a man after becoming high sequence hunter. We know this. This is known. In Dardel, an upper coastal province, Fost region, Lumion said. Simultaneously, Franca muttered, I wonder how 007 will react to this. He's always telling me to get out of the market district. If I do, he'll realize that not only will Beyonder cases in Trier pile up on him, catastrophes in other provinces will descend upon him too. But hey, what does it have to do with me? After explaining the situation, Lumion teleported back to the washroom. He turned on the tap and washed his hands, and left the washroom, and said to Lugano, the authorities will react soon. Let's get prepared to leave. Lugano sprang to his feet. At that moment, the unconscious Pierre slowly regained consciousness. Lumion looked at him and smiled. We'll stay and investigate the source. Can you tell me who patient 0 was? Who was it? Pierre fell into deep thought. Sauron, Einhorn, Medici, Glorious Queen, true. Lugano, who had been listening, shot Lumion a puzzled glance. He couldn't fathom why Lumion would strike up a casual conversation with Pierre. A few more moments and official Beyonders would make their entrance. Besides, delving too deep into this matter could invite trouble. Pierre pondered and said, Patient Zero seems to be a guest renting a room at our bar. Foreigner? Lumion asked. Having already briefed the official Beyonders, Lumion was no longer as tense as before. Thus, before leaving, he came to unravel more about derangement. This quest for information, problem analysis, and uncovering of clues was all part of a conspirer's acting. Lumion wasn't overly concerned with the potential repercussions. Couldn't the information on derangement hold a candle to 001 sealed intel? Moreover, as long as he didn't go berserk, he could later seek assistance anyway. Pierre contemplated, his expression reflecting confusion. Probably, I can't remember her. I don't know where she came from. All I remember is she suddenly lost her mind, dashed from the hotel to the bar, and started trying to bite people. The infected foreigner spreading derangement? Why were the townfolk displaying no inclination to escape? Did she bite anyone? What happened? We took care of her before she could sink her teeth into anyone. We apprehended her and handed her over to the health department. Did the next person come from the health department? Yes. What did he look like? A young woman. Her face a bit pale and her eyes vacant. I just can't recall her, though. Upon hearing this, Lumion's heart stirred. If all the roots of the abnormalities in Dardel stemmed from a deranged individual, many contradictions could find an explanation. Patient Zero was already in a state of madness. Instinctively, she would spread derangement to those around her in a supernatural sense. Simultaneously, she would subconsciously employ her abilities to disseminate the supernatural derangement, dropping hints to the townsfolk that leaving wasn't an option. Certainly, it wasn't necessarily due to a lack of thorough consideration. Lumion believed it was more plausible that the lunatic's instincts desired to involve more people and infect them with derangement. Consequently, people who weren't aware of this weren't permitted to leave or seek help. This was limited and relatively safe method of contagion. Passengers who knew about her derangement were akin to approaching the source of the plague. For instance, Lugano's luck turned, increasing the probability of contracting the disease. This was a precursor to being infected with derangement. With this in mind, Lumion, who suspected the young woman to be a survivor of the village that had previously been eradicated, she intertwined with these memories with derangement and disseminated them. That is how the residents of Dardel came to learn of a similar plague. Having formulated this hypothesis, Lumion smiled and said, Where is the village you mentioned that was destroyed in the past? I think it's somewhere in the hot Hornaces province. That's quite a distance. Moreover, there's no straight train. It requires a transfer through a few provinces. How could you folk who rarely leave Dardel have heard such a rumor? This derangement holds significant research value. We'll venture into Dardel to investigate it. Moreover, preparations will take some time. At dawn, we will step into Dardel and won't depart till we resolve the problem. Lumion stressed the phrase, will enter Dardel, and will not leave for the time being to gauge Pierre and the waiter's response. After a moment, Pierre said, You must come to town tomorrow. No problem, Lumion replied. Least dangerous day. Honestly, yeah, it's just fucking Tuesday. I was thinking of making a joke where it's like, or not even a joke, but like a short where it's like average day for Derek, and it's like him going out to fucking buy groceries, and it's like Lovecraftian horrors up his ass, like everywhere. And he's like, la-di-da-di-da. The blackface grass looks pretty good today. Pretty good price, must say. Average woman in New Hampshire? I don't know what's happening in New Hampshire. I don't get the joke. Observing Pierre and the bar waiter about to leave, Lumion said, Wait a minute. The two of them turned in surprise. You can take the cutlery now. Pierre and the other glanced at the dining table in confusion, realizing only remnants had remained. Had they already finished eating? Pierre and the bar waiter were aware they had spent a considerable amount of time discussing the issue, but it felt surreal. This is quick. Ludwig wiped his mouth with a content expression. Continue watching. Chill, Lumion said to Lugano. I can't chill. How are we to escape when the official Beyonders arrive? Lugano thought. I don't either, but it sounds like something that would happen there. Motherfucker, my source is that I made it up. Observing his reaction, Lumion muttered silently. He's indeed acting like a wild Beyonder with a low sequence and little knowledge. He doesn't see anything special like Ludwig. Simultaneously, Lumion turned his attention to check on Lugano's luck. Realizing that the ghastly green traces had vanished, meaning the doctor was no longer in the potential to contract derangement. After a while, Lumion heard a loud noise. Light streamed down from afar. Lumion looked up and noticed two colossal objects flying in the night. Two airships. Much smaller than the ones Lumion had seen in Trier. Simultaneously, the town erupted in a cacophony of barking. The officials from Foss region are here, Lumion thought. Shouts, cries, gunshots, and various beams of sunlight continued for nearly an hour before subsiding. You just gotta, hold on, I'm trying to find a clip of what... You gotta imagine, this is what Ludwig and the others, this is what Lumion and the others saw for like an hour. They're just watching this shit. Like, just fucking, oh god, it's the middle of the night and the fucking sun comes out for a half a second, just... Like, what the fuck? Lumion was ready to teleport away with Ludwig and Lugano at any moment. After recording and comparing tickets and identification, the police officers left the carriage. Lumion waited patiently until dawn, and the police officers returned, presenting 3 contracts and requesting their signatures. The contract explained that the disturbance from the previous night was from a special military operation, and everyone was obligated to keep it confidential. What does I revealed before my signature count? Lumion chuckled. After the police departed, Lumion, having intentionally gone through the official process, intended to grasp Lugano and Ludwig's shoulder and teleport away, uncertain if the contract signed would be discovered. At that moment, Lumion noticed a towering figure behind Lugano. His messenger, penitent Banefell. Banefell sent a folded letter towards Lumion. Lugano was taken aback. He glanced at the man, but Lumion opened the letter and perused its contents. Based on the feedback I received, this should be the escape of a sealed artifact. This artifact resembles a young woman. On its surface, during the catastrophe it first surfaced during the catastrophe now in the hot Hornaces province. Most of the time she remains in a normal state, appearing lifeless, pale, and muddle-headed. But once she entered a state of madness, she gradually infects the people surrounding her with the same derangement as her. She may not be in the same state every time she goes mad, the same for the symptoms. In her normal state, although she is like an unintelligent ghost and acts on instinct, she possesses a power akin to the power of speech. Whatever, wherever she says comes true, and if she declares someone dead, they will die. Am I crazy, or is this sounding like the vessel of the goddess a little bit? Right? Like, it doesn't move. It stands there, muddle-headed, unable to do anything, but at certain points, it'll just fucking teleport and have the power of Jesus Christ himself. Could this be like the vessel of the demoness? Does that make any sense? Am I making this up? Anyone catching my drift? No, not the goddess, but like the demoness. She's like, let me come down and just bite some bitches, you know? Seems like it's been a couple of days and I haven't bitten a bitch. Can you believe it? It has been a total of 6 days and I haven't bitten a bitch. Chop chop. Let's go. No amount of context could save that clip. Before the derangement took hold, she acted on instinct, her pale face and lifeless eyes mirroring the descriptions of Patient Zero by Pierre. The divergence lay in Lumen's belief that the initial infected individuals was a genuine lunatic that acted on instinct. While official information identified her as a humanoid artifact, she is still governed by instincts that lacked intelligence. Lumen's speculation, however, didn't rule out the possibility that the young woman had transformed into a true lunatic. As for why it was a seal and not an eradication, Lumen could roughly discern. The ability to kill anyone at will was still coveted, despite restrictions. The power to eliminate anyone at will remained highly sought after. Whether it was the Inquisition, the Hive Mind, or Bureau 8, they all prioritized sealing over destruction if a viable method existed. His eyes moved down. As for additional details, confidentiality prevents the source from providing more. Keep a vigilant eye on individuals like her. If you uncover anything, distance yourself and report. No specifics about origins, sealing techniques, or number. Despite Dardel's abnormality, even if it isn't a grade 1, it holds a significance amongst grade 2. At that moment, Lugano was observing his back in bewilderment. Despite activating his spirit vision, he found nothing. Lumen's messenger had long departed. "Let's go," Lumen said, grasping out to Ludwig and Lugano's shoulders. His foremost regret was the wasted third of 400 Vrildor fare. In the next instant, Lugano felt as if he had crossed into the spirit world he just glimpsed. Instead of being a mere observer, he plunged deeper into the layers of saturated colors, bathing in the light of the 7 different colored brilliances overhead. Dizziness overcame him, and in just over 10 seconds, his feet met the ground. Buildings in beige, brown, red, and yellow light surrounded him. Lumen had teleported too far and chose Faust, with Dardel falling under its jurisdiction. Probably last chapter, Harsh. Under the dawn light, Lumen adorned the lie earring and retrieved a tweed coat from his bag, seamlessly altering his appearance, height, and attire. In less than a minute, he morphed into an entirely different person. What an item. Lumen tossed the lie earring to Lugano, casually stating, "Get 3 more sets of fake identities and buy train stations that will arrive in Port Gatti." "Am I a translator or your attendant?" Lugano criticized. "I've never been to the Faust area, so I don't know where to find fake identities." "The principles are common. I trust you," Lumen said. "Alright." At the Northern Trier station, Lumen had already paid him 1,000 Vrildor for the fake identities and told him that he would handle similar expenses in the future. After Lugano put on the earring, Lugano left the alley with his suitcase. Lumen activated the Nice face, altering his... By the way, can I just say it? This is really shitty. This is really bad writing by Cuttlefish, okay? I don't know if it's the same, and maybe it's just because the names are slightly different in Chinese, so it doesn't work the same. But Ludwig, Lugano, and Lumion all being in the same fucking place is so stupid. Why would you name everyone starting with LU? Why would you even name everyone starting with L? This is such a fucking clusterfuck to read. Lumen activated the Nice face, altering his appearance one more and trailing Lugano from afar. He wanted to observe the doctor's actions and reactions. To prevent Ludwig from protesting, Lumen held his wide-brimmed hat and tossed a few loaves of baguettes. In the early morning, the bars were closed, so Lugano headed to the nearest market and approached a prowler suspected to be a mobster. Using money, he bought access and discovered where to get fake identities. Lugano appeared no different from an ordinary bounty hunter. Lumen wasn't disappointed or displeased, and followed Lugano until he secured a differently scheduled steam locomotive. In Port Gatti, Upper Coastal Province, Lumen occupied a luxurious hotel room. I never had a problem. Were you reading it out loud, motherfucker? Chris, if Kami or anyone else had said that, I'd be like, they're idiots. I expect more from you, okay? Because you're better, I expect more from you. Now, is that unfair? Probably. But that's the truth, okay? I expect more from you. Be better. Standing before the expansive glass window, he observed the azure sky, the clear and melodious calls of gurgling seabirds, accompanied by their graceful figures, traversed between white clouds, white beaches, and ship masts. This port, a main entry for products from the industrial cities in West Midseashire into the Fog Sea, was famous. Contrary to Trieren's belief about scarce sunlight, Port Gaiety remained perpetually bathed in sunlight. As Ludwig chewed, Lumion admired the seascape and distant harbour, awaiting Lugano to return with the tickets. At that moment, penitent Bayfell returned, handing Lumion another letter. Thank you, Lumion nodded. According to the information gathered at the scene, it appears she returned to normal a few days ago and has left Dardel. Her whereabouts are unknown. The spreading derangement resulted from the severely corrupted Sea of Mines. The townsfolk have normal behaviour, unwilling to leave Dardel, yet keen on informing passerbys, likely stems from the corrupted Sea of Mines. Anthony's recently learned terminology describes it as a sea of collective subconscious forming a mind world with the island of consciousness and spirituality sky. This motherfucker's definitely been talking to Justice. That's literally Audrey speaking right there. Be cautious in the future. There's a risk of being drawn to another mystical catastrophe caused by the artifact. By the way, it's also... I love how the Tarot Club is literally like school if you're a minor arcana. Because it's like, hey, you all have a teacher, okay? Your major arcana card. They're all way smarter than you. Well, not smarter, but they all know a whole bunch of shit that you don't know. But you could get a really good teacher like Justice or Sun, or you could get a horribly dog shit teacher like Magician, or God forbid, can you imagine some dumb motherfucker having to deal with Emlyn? Oh my god, I'm so sorry for that guy. I'm so sorry. Can they just request a transfer? Can they be like, hey, listen, I don't want to go to the 8 a.m. class anymore. Can I take the Wednesday at noon? You're like, listen, Emlyn, you are the Monday morning at 8:30 class of fucking Tarot Club members, okay? Get me the fuck away from that guy. At 3 p.m., Lumion, accompanied by Lugano and Ludwig, boarded the Flying Bird, a merchant ship bound for Faina Potter. Opting for a first-class cabin, they secured a suite featuring a master bedroom, child room, and servants' quarters, a living room, and a washroom. The fee, a hefty 700 Vrildor. Money was something Lumion cared about, yet not too much. His past experiences and his sister's guidance had made him instinctively calculative, but relatively easy acquisition of money, like the 30,000 Vrildor he obtained yesterday, lessened the sting. Genuinely, why do you hate him? He's a filthy, disgusting, subhuman vampire. I said it. I said it. I'll say it with my chest out, damn it. It's not a racism. He's of a different species. There's a different term for it. Okay, he's not the same species as me, but like a different color. I don't care about his. Do you think I say, oh yeah, you lib cuck. Yeah, call him a sanguine. Yeah, hi, fucking bug, you fucking lib cuck. Besides, he already possessed the potion formula, main ingredient, and supplementary ingredients for his next sequence. As a devoted reader of the Adventurer series, Lumion knew of the numerous human-shaped treasures at sea. If he needed money, he was willing to imitate his idol and call them. The Flying Bird, the latest steam-powered ship, was made entirely of steel, with no sails. In the iron grey with intertwining red and gold colors, the ship boasted a wide deck, numerous gun emplacements, and surpassed classical sailboats in displacement, capacity, and speed. Watch yourself, Canada boy. Yeah, I am Canada boy. You see? That's called xenophobia. That's fine. But that's the thing, okay? You hate me because I'm from a different country. I hate him because he's not the same even species as me, okay? It's because he's annoying. Vampires are hot. What are you, a teenage girl horse? What the fuck is your problem? Before the Cordu incident, Lumion had considered embarking on a maritime journey inspired by Gehrman Sparrow. However, Aurora had deferred this plan until after his university graduation. In his spacious living room, Lumion gazed out the window at the azure sea, lost in thought. Amidst the whistle, mist bellowed from the chimneys of the Flying Bird. The massive, iron-armored merchant ship slowly departed Port Gaiety, heading to the depths of the sea. The cries of a seabird reverberating through the clouds. Alright, boys, we have officially entered Traveler. Clown, faceless traveler, right? This is it. Harsh, kill yourself. Damn, I'm just doing a fucking demonetization stream, fucking speedrun. I've said the term subhuman. I feel like I said something else really bad, and I just told Harsh to kill himself. I'm literally on a speedrun right now. Holy shit. I need to I need to calm down. It's not that serious. Hold on. You're starting to sound like an average Republican. Oh yeah, lib cuck. Alright, boys. Yeah, we'll end it there. I know, relatively short stream, hour and a half. But hey, we'll keep going. We're doing like good. We're doing like good speed at the moment. If we can keep going like this, we're cooking. Can I ask one of you guys, whenever you have a moment, doesn't need to be now, like whenever you have a second, can you toss in the Discord when Volume 4 ends? 4? Yeah, 4 ends. I'm curious where that looks like. Alright, that's it, boys. I'll catch y'all later. I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Bye, guys.